What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. If you don't like it, you can have that seat though.
So there will be no pre-release Nintendo Switch 2 hardware or software reviews. And the professional press will have you believe that this is the worst thing that ever happened to the gaming industry. But is it? Now, before we get things started, we're still on the road to 20,000 subscribers. If you're into Nintendo Switch 2 content and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. And of course, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. So, Nintendo has opted out of supplying journalists with Switch 2 hardware and games ahead of time. And the journalists who are used to having access to these games and to these hardwares pre-release so that they can put up reviews of these games and put up impressions of these games before everyone else, think that this is the worst thing ever. But the question is it really? Because the Nintendo Switch 2 is kind of a different beast than past launches. Where does a pre-release of this system and of these games, does that really affect your perception of this system? These journalists will have you believe that them not being able to give their professional opinion on the hardware and the software before launch and before you're able to buy it will negatively impact your judgment to buy this system. Now, I gotta ask you this. How many games coming to the Switch 2 day one are actually new games? We have Mario Kart World, which is a new game. But literally, everything else besides Fast Fusion is literally a game that has been out for other systems and games that have reviews already. Now, Mario Kart World is a brand new game. But honestly, ever since IGN gave Double Dash a 7.9, I don't think they really care too much about Mario Kart reviews. And neither does really the majority of the public. So that really doesn't matter there. But as far as the other games, do we really need reviews ahead of time for Switch 2 versions of these games, of these third-party games that some of them have been out for quite a while? These games aren't new. Now, if the Switch 2 launched with a whole bunch of new games, never before released games, yeah, this might be an issue. But the fact is, it's not. And even if you go back and read or watch reviews of past games that came to Nintendo systems after the fact, 95% of the review is regurgitated. In fact, a lot of those reviews, they say, go, if you want to know about this game, we reviewed it last year, so go check that out. But as far as the Nintendo version, they add some motion controls. It doesn't look as nice, and you can play it everywhere. And that's it. Things that we already know. And it really doesn't even matter if these reviews go up after launch, because people will go back and watch reviews of games that they already own just to see if the reviewer is an idiot and if they should take them seriously. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if their review is up before or after. People are still going to watch. But in terms of the Nintendo Switch 2, this is probably the system that needs pre-release reviews the least. Now, I know what you guys, some of you guys are probably saying, what do you mean? It has to have some kind of hands-on reviews pre-release. Like, we have to know what we're getting. I understand. Like, if only there was an event where thousands of fans, journalists included, all got to play Nintendo Switch hardware and games before release. Oh wait, that already happened. So anyone claiming they're going into the Switch 2 blind is either a liar or an idiot. Because there's hundreds and hundreds upon hundreds of impressions of Switch 2 hardware and games out there. In fact, there's more hands-on of this system of videos from different people and different experiences from different people than any gaming console in history. So yeah, when you say, oh my gosh, there's no Switch 2 reviews, it's like, because we don't really need them. At least not day one. Because these games are new. Now, there's a reason why certain games aren't launch games. And it's because Nintendo didn't want to put the hardware out there to the press early. There's a reason why Donkey Kong just magically comes out a month after launch. I guarantee you that they'll send pre-release copies of Donkey Kong out. I bet you they'll send press release copies of Metroid Prime 4. The reason there was no need to send this hardware out early is because most of these games aren't new. And they let you guys play them a month ago. So all this stuff about, oh my gosh, we need to, you're not going to know, you're not going to have an informed view of the game. They're like, yeah, we are. In fact, in the last couple months or so, it's been the professional journalists that have been messing up the actual facts of the system more than the fans. The fans have been the ones auto-correcting false Switch 2 information for the journalist. So yeah, Switch 2 not having hardware reviews or reviews of its software pre-release is really not that big of a deal at all. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section.